And rainfall in the fire-ravaged town of Batemans Bay has been a welcomed relief for locals and firefighters.
It is, however, only a small reprieve amidst the ongoing bushfire disaster, with residents and holidaymakers alike still without power and many still living out of their cars at evacuation centres. And joining us now from Batemans Bay with the latest update is New South Wales Minister for Transport and Roads, Andrew Constance. So, look, Andrew, I mean, you know, we've been watching you these past few weeks. More than being an MP, you're a local there, and, you know, we say it with the kindest regards. You look exhausted. How are you?
I've got a long way to go, and it's not about me. People don't give a stuff about politicians right now. They care about each other. Look, just a bit of rain here in Batemans Bay is deceptive because around the region, wouldn't matter if it's the mountains, the coastal areas, we've still got fires going, and we've got warmer weather later on in the week. So don't be deceived by the rain at this stage. Our priority's got to be for those people, and there's hundreds of them who've lost everything, and then obviously trying to get those who have something back into their homes where there's no water and no power in a lot of cases. And everyone's feeling every emotion under the sun right now, and it's pretty rough. I went down to Merimbula yesterday, and I've been to every evacuation centre, and in a couple of communities have lost everything, and it's pretty bloody tough.
Andrew, I've been watching you over the last couple of days, and I've really admired your candour with people who are going through enormous emotions, and you're leading them incredibly well. How are you holding up at the end of the day? Because I think that is important. You've got to be a leader in these times, but it's also important for people to say to you, are you okay?
Oh, well, I can relate to people because I went through it. But, mate, let me tell you, it's nothing more heartbreaking than seeing, you know, people who've lost everything, friends, family, are all trying to pull together around each other at this point in time. But look, you know, the good news is that, you know, people will take any support they can get from community, from government. People are working together now, and we just got to pull together. And it's pretty raw, pretty hurtful, and we've still got people living in places, living in cars. Some cases, I'm a bit nervous. We've got a lot of cut-off people and isolated people who've lost everything. I've got a little town in my electric called Narragunda. I'm going to go and try and get there today, but they've lost everything there except the bloody Telstra phone box. It's that type of stuff. So it's pretty tough. And, you know, I think we've got to get, hopefully, these fires out. It's a nice bit of rain here in Batemans Bay at the moment, but it's a very, very big fire ground across the entire southeast. Governments know that, and, you know, it's really important we just come together at this time and capture their emotions, let it out, let it be raw. I've done that. I've cried a couple of times just in private this week, but get it out, and then let's get on with it and rebuild and have the best recovery this country's ever seen.
Good on you, man.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's really important for people to see that emotion. I mean, and in your electorate there, it's from Batemans Bay almost down to the border of Victoria, so you're really the red zone there. You're talking about communities that are isolated. Do you have any idea if any help is getting into those people and what they need right now?
Look, it's starting to happen. That's the pleasing bit. I went into Cabargo yesterday. You know, the problem is we've had, you know, fires still raging. We've had a lot of road closures and things. But we've got to get some welfare officers into these people, and I know that that's happening now. You know, west of the Princes Highway, there's a lot of smaller communities. Down south of Eden, again, pockets of really small communities, and they lost a lot of homes in there. And tragically, you know, there's going to be some unimaginable grief for some places because of people who've been lost in these fires. So we just got to get in there, start to rebuild and start getting on with it. We've got some great mayors who have been, you know, working around the clock and also been fire affected themselves. A lot of our local people who do work on essential services and in councils, they themselves, you know, lost homes, you know, and then of course we've got a lot of lost jobs because we've lost, you know, a lot of employment through, you know, would have an industrial estate in Batemans Bay, small business, or even down south. I understand the mill's been badly affected down there too. So there's a lot of rebuilding that's got to happen there.
Andrew, just quickly before we go, and I think there's been a lot of focus on the Prime Minister, and you raised it as well. We don't want to focus on that today. We need to move forward, and I think he'd be the first to admit that he's made mistakes. But can you tell us this morning, and I thought it was encouraging yesterday, him being with Shane Fitzsimmons, owning that mistake and getting on with it. What do you need from the federal government?
Look, I got an apology from him, and it was, you know, very important in terms of him being seen with Shane and Gladys yesterday. Look, I think that the main thing at the moment, we've just got to get this in place. We've got to get people housed who've lost everything. We've got to get support around them. I mean, mentally it's tough. We're going to need a lot of welfare, a lot of counselling. It wouldn't matter if it's our littlies, through to our elderly people, through to all ages. It's traumatising and it's bloody tough. So let's get some love wrapped around some people and then obviously work through this methodically. I spoke to Dick Adams, who's our recovery coordinator that Gladys and Shane have appointed, top bloke. He gets it and he'll be on the ground. And we just, you know, it's not just my community, it's the Shoalhaven, where Shelley Hancock is. It's up in the mountains where John Barolero is. It's a whole raft of, you know, I don't even know how big these fire grounds are now, but they're bloody everywhere, and a lot of communities. And we just obviously just going to have to work through this methodically. But look, I think the first priority is, you know, making sure people have water, they've got a roof over their head, get them out of their cars and get them out of, you know, fire sheds and things like that, and just get everyone together. And then we can start to rebuild together, because I think it's got to be about rebuilding together so that nobody's left behind.
Well
It's
said,
a big
mate.
effort ahead too. Yeah.
Well said, Andrew. We appreciate everything you're doing, and I'm sure the people around you appreciate that. Stay strong, my friend, in the most difficult of circumstances. I know you're feeling it, but a lot of people need you to be strong. And gee, I wish we could give you a hug right now. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, Carl.
Good on you, mate.